Tennessee police now say 5 people are dead in what appears to be a murder-suicide. It happened in Maury County, about 45 miles south of Nashville. 4 children and their mother were found dead. The Maury County District Attorney says a family member found the bodies and called police. The sheriff's office is now investigating. Right now, they don't believe there's a threat to the community.
I'd ask our community to lift the rest of this family and friends up in prayer and remember those and be respectful of the family as well, because they're victims in this, and of course they're going to have to deal and learn how to deal with this and how to live life without their loved ones.
Authorities have not released the family's identity.
4 men and